This is a story about the end of my life. It all started when I moved into my new home, a big empty mansion in the middle of nowhere. On the first day I lived there, I saw something black in the distance that was standing still and staring at me. After only 2 days I realized that he was following me everywhere and that every time he got close to me, someone close to me dies or gets hurt because of an accident. The same. A girl tells that when she was 6 years old, she moved with her mother to a new house, and one day she went to her bed at the time of bed, and asked her mother to come and stay beside her. "So you can sleep, however." Her mother was on fire with her younger brother, and she made him sleep, but her mother was so tired that she fell asleep next to her brother. And when she called her again, she did not respond. The girl kept calling her mother around 2 or 3 times, but she didn't answer either, and the last time she called her mother, she heard a strange sound nearby. From the sound of animals answering their call. From the bottom of the bed, the girl froze in her place because of her horror at what she heard. Then she saw a tall man coming out from under the bed, standing right beside her head, and she tried to close her eyes so that she could not see him, but she opened her eyes to see if he had gone or not. She found him standing next to her. He bent over her until she thought that he would eat her or hurt her in some way. But he kissed her on the cheek. He told her not to be afraid of him. As the girl mentioned, she felt a cold place he kissed on her cheek, and she tried not to cry all the time. She was in terror, so he patted her hair and then left and stood in front of the door, and says that she is even with her eyes closed. But she sees him all the time, knowing that she does not see his features. You only see a shadow in black, and you can't go to sleep. Only after he walked out the door. He is closed and left her in her horror for a long time. A girl says that when she was young, about 4 years, an incident happened to her that she could not forget. Throughout her life, she says in this story that she was with her family. They lived in an Arab country, and they lived in a small village, and her father had bought a farm in this village. And he planted mulberry trees in it, and her mother loved it, constantly going to the farm for picking berries. Then I followed her saying it was. She loves to go with her mother to the farm, to watch her picking berries, but on one occasion she went after her mother to the farm and suddenly she had a seizure. She did not want the reason behind her. She clung to her mother to reassure her, and when she looked to her right, she found a woman dressed in black, so she shouted and asked her mother to go home immediately. Despite the girl crying and begging her mother to come home, except that her mother was telling her, "Wait a little while, and we'll go now," but the girl kept yelling, and told her mother that the strange woman was. She was right in front of them, but her mother didn't see anything. Then the mother did. I carried the girl and tried to reassure her. There was nothing to be afraid of, and the girl continued to cry. The woman in black did not move. In front of them, she started to tickle her. In her feet, she began to play with her, and the girl told. Her heart nearly stopped in terror. Until her mother responded to her request. She ran home with her reading verses from the Holy Quran.